Hey, it's Ken Gagne of YouTube channel Gamebits here to give you a tour of my town of Cantlin in Chapter 1 of Dragon Quest Builders. Everybody builds their town a little bit differently, so I thought it'd be nice to show you around mine. Usually you come in through the main entrance here, but you just have to watch out for these evil idols that they don't burn you to death. If you stand right in the middle, you'll be fine. That's how we know that you are welcome, because you know the secret entrance. Here we are through the grand entrance into town. There's Splattrick just bouncing around. Let me give you a tour of my rooms here, some of which you may not have seen before. Here is a shared bedroom. It is the first bedroom I ever built in Cantlin. It is shared between Sherry, a woman of the world, and Cantlin, the guard. You may recall that the guard patrols all night, so Sherry basically has the room to herself. I haven't touched some of the original walls, some of the original materials, because I like the reminder of what this town was when we first came here. Here is my grotty guest house for all the people who are passing through town. They can stay here. We haven't had many guests yet, but I'm hoping to expand that. Let's see, over here we have our barbecue kitchen, not to be confused with a barbecue chicken. This is where I can cook all the foods I want, and the guests and residents put their foods in this little chest here. Oh look, they've made me some buttermilk, bread, and shrooms on a stick. One of my favorite foods, in fact. Here is the garden, and yes, the only way through there is the kitchen. I'm calling it a farm-to-table situation. This is a botanical garden that the Hammerhoods taught me how to make, and I can just sit here and watch Rollo hide in the bushes, which is not at all creepy. Good job, Rollo. You've ruined my garden. Over here we have my triple teleportarium. I can go anywhere I want, whether it's blue, red, or green. I can get there. I put a couple of storage items in the corner here just to fill up that space. And here's my watchtower. The watchtower doesn't really need its own room, so I decided for it to share it with the teleportarium, because any way I go, I'm going up and out of here, whether to another land or just to view over this one more easily. Here is my blacksmith studio. It has both a builder's station and a furnace, as well as another little chest for my residents to put things in for me. What is this? It's a plant pot. Swell. You do want to have these two items in the same room. That is what turns your workmason studio into a blacksmith studio, so get those in the same room together. Over here, I don't know if you can see it, but there is another little bench there with a tree. Neither of these are contributing to the overall value of my town because they're not inside rooms. But I like to have somewhere that people can just sit and watch the comings and goings of people coming through the west entrance to town. Over here is Rollo's room. I gave him his own room because he snores and nobody else wanted to stay with him. So that's why he's over here. He's got his own little chamber pot there. And here is another room. It's a LaRouche room and a, let's see if I can read this, Magnus room. They share this room together. That's LaRouche right there. Looks like he probably just woke up. Oh, some monsters are here, but I don't care about them. I'll show you why in a moment. This is, what's his name? Sheridan's room. And he has the room right next to mine because I figured he was my very first guest in this town, and I figured he deserves to be my best friend and we can share rooms and stuff. But still have some privacy. Don't know why there's a window there, there just is. And yes, my character's name is Nintendo because when I was a kid playing the very first Dragon Warrior on the 8-bit Nintendo, I was a raging Nintendo fanboy. Everything was Nintendo. Back then, your character's name could only be 4 names, so it was Nint, 4 characters long. So now I can finally spell out Nintendo. 2 empty rooms here, again, don't know why, but in the back here is my pot chamber. Also where I keep my coffer with all the many things I can't store in my sack. My residents will make pots and put them in this chest right here. It's not very helpful because I really don't need more pots, but nonetheless it is nice to have a pot chamber. Finally over here, this is the armory. It was formerly the dressing room, but it became the armory, and you get to Pippin's room through the armory. I got her a nice double bed. It's the only double bed in town. I stole it from the castle, and I figured she deserved it. That is, I think, everything inside my town. Let me give you a tour outside my town. Now, this was originally just a plain old barracks with some spike traps. I put some more around here to protect that tree, but more than that, I actually put spike traps on every side of the town. That way, no matter where monsters are coming from, I rarely have to step outside of town to attack them. They just run themselves into these spikes, and that's it. Let me show you another neat little thing that I added. This is actually a vulnerability of sorts. When I was first playing the game and trying to figure out how things worked and how gravity worked, I built a tunnel right under the town. It goes all the way under the town. The town was not very complete when I was building this, and I was wondering if I could somehow dig up into the town. But no, I just kept going, and it comes out all the way on the other side. Not much value to that. There's my town right there, but it's kind of fun. But there is something on this side over here that was worth building a entrance to. Let's see if I can remember where I put it. It's right here. And it is actually a garden. This garden cannot and will not ever be in my town itself because it needs water. And that's not something you can plant or move. And so I put down 10 plants, 5 pieces of grass, and a bench and a brazier, and 8 blocks of water, and a tree. And that was my garden. And that is actually one of the accomplishments for this level. It's one of the challenges that allows you to build more stuff in Terra Incognita. I originally built my garden too big, in fact. I built it around this entire pond. You can see some of the leftover walls here. And it was too big. Towns can't be, or rooms can't be more than 100 blocks. And so the game was not recognizing this as an actual room. I had to tear it down and make it smaller. Now there is one more kind of room that I think is pretty cool, and I'm going to show you right now how to build it as night is falling. I'm going to be discovering this for the first time as you watch. This is not currently in my repertoire. I'm going to put a door right there. And I believe it just now needs a light source, correct? I built a room. Great. Not much value to that room. Maybe it's a hidey hole. But let me show you something else I can do here. If I can just remember where I put it. Here it is. These are my wrecking balls that I destroyed the golem with. And I'm going to put one in that room, and you know what it turns into? A doomed room. A room that'll go out with a bang in 3, 2, 1. That's it. The room is gone. I didn't get much out of that, but I learned how to build a doomed room. And so did you. And now night is falling on my town. And so I think this is the proper time for Nintendo to call it a night. He's going to go back through the main entrance, say hello to Splatrick, because he's so happy to be living here with the humans. And he wants to marry Pippa when he grows up. Good luck with that. I would hate to see your children. May they burn. Finally, into my own little room with my ornamental armor and weapons. 2 beds. I can choose whichever one I want to sleep in. Every night I get a different one. Tonight it's this one. And so I bid goodnight on the town of Cantlin in Chapter 1. I would love to see your town. Leave a link in the comments with what you did differently or what you would have liked to have seen in mine. Thanks so much for watching.